All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of October, 2011. Um, we'll go over the morning's trades here and the options trades as well. All right. Not going to tell you what the options were, but not yet anyway. Um, but we'll go over the morning's trades. All right. Let me start out by saying how we ended the morning. Plus 3 ticks on the ES and plus 17 ticks, sorry, on the YM. All right, plus 3 on the ES and 17 on the YM. There is a YM trade happening right now, okay, though I wouldn't have taken that because of the momentum that this pulled up here with. There's also an ES trade. Is that right? ES trade? No, there's not an ES trade happening right now. The first pullback was up here. There was an ES trade right here. But let's just go back here. To the morning session, and we'll go through the trades we actually took. Okay. Let's see. The first trade of the day was right here. We had a bubble outside the bands. That means the red ones went outside the black ones down here on the chop bands. All right, we did that. Then we had to pull back up to the BBC. The BBC was outside the box. The box is delineated by these lines right here and this dotted line right there. All right, we wait for the BBC to drop down below the box, and usually the pullback down to the BBC or up to the BBC when you have a bubble is good. I took a point on this one. I moved my stop up to break even, and then it was having trouble down here moving further, so I just took a point out of the trade, and it moved back up here. The BBC went back inside the box, and then it stayed inside the box over here as price moved around. If you were doing George's trade, this was one of them right here, but I waited for it to come out of the box. Right here, we had a little tiny bubble right here. All right, so I went short right here, and it stopped me out just by a couple of ticks. It stopped me out, and then it moved on down to the profit target. So I was plus 4, and I lost 8 right here, so I was minus 4. Then over here, I slipped when I was putting a trade on, and I lost 1 tick out of that, so I was minus 5 before this trade right here. But you can see the BBC made it outside the box. We had a higher swing right there. It pulled back down to the BBC, and I went long right here for 8 ticks, putting me at plus 3. Price pulled down again right here with a fresh bubble that just came outside right here, outside the bands. Price pulled down. I got long here again. Once we got a point or 5 ticks in the trade, I moved my stop up to break even, and it took me out of break even. That was all I did for trading this morning on the ES. That put me at plus 3. All right. I don't believe there were any other trades in there other than this one right here that I missed. Well, yeah, there were some over the break, I guess. Yeah, there's a trade right here over the break. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. There's one right here that would have been a break even. So there were no trades that would have made any money for me, except for this one right here. Okay, this one right here would have made 2 points. And that was the ES on the morning. All right. So we ended the morning session at plus 3 on the ES. Okay, now the YM. We didn't take a ton of trades on the YM either. We were around this zone right here most of the morning session, so we weren't trading anything over here. Finally, we got away from it. Was it 10:12? Quarter after 10 or so. The market moved up pretty strongly here, and it pulled back down. This was the first pullback to the BBC after the bullish cross, and we went long right there, and we wanted to get out of it right here at the MA1 because we thought we'd get rejected from the MA1, which we did. So we got our points right there. Between there and there, we got our points. All right. I didn't take any more of these trades in here. Over here, we had a bearish cross, and price moved up here. I did not take this trade right here. I missed it, but some of the guys in the room asked about it, and I said it was a trade, but I wasn't going to take it. It was right at 11:24. We're shutting down the morning session, or getting ready to shut down the morning session. And when we have a huge bar like this one that's coming up to the entry, I don't like to take those trades because a lot of times that momentum is just going to keep going right through, and it did right there. And you can see right here, this one, I only risked 7 ticks on these trades, so I I don't have a lot of risk. I don't have a lot of risk. I don't have a lot of room for error. So I like to see it slowly get up there and then bounce off it. In any case, we ended the morning session at plus 17 on the YM. Okay, so plus 17 on the YM, plus 3 on the ES. Now the options yesterday at about 3:45 Eastern time, PM Eastern time, we sent out an email for our partners, our active partners, to buy some options, or to suggested that they look to buy some options. I'm not going to give out what those options, what price level they were at, or anything like that until they're until the market has moved well off of where it is, one way or the other. But I will tell you that they're profitable right now, and that went out yesterday, and they're up as much as 10%, I think, overnight. Yeah, that's about right. I think 10% overnight is as high as they climbed. Right now, I would like to see price move up above 1230. If we get up above 1230, we'll probably shoot right up to 1240, and then those options will be worth a lot more. I'm looking to see 50% to 100% gain on it if we can. We'll see what kind of opportunities we get here. What kind of opportunities the markets give us anyway. All right, and that is the morning session.